Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So excited. Very excitable at the minute. That's a good place, actually. Right. Thank you for joining me. Oh, it's been a week of lives for me this week. I can't lie. I've done Try It Out Tuesday. I've did my live yesterday in Crafting Together with All Brands. I've done a live this morning. And then I'm back again. It's a good job I like it. Isn't it, really? Because I do. I do quite a lot. Right, so for anyone that hasn't joined us yet today, hello and welcome. For the rest of you that have, thank you so much for sticking with us. It is very, very much appreciated. Oh dear, I'm talking to myself through my phone. Thank you, Mother. All right. So today we have been focusing on the Crafty MDF collection. Sometimes we think it just, bless it, it's just that good little staple that we work on and we add to things and whatever. And we're not sure if we've ever given it a proper focus. So what we wanted to do was give it its own little dedicated day where that's primarily what we talk about. So we have been talking about it today. And we've also been showing you some awesome new products. So Sam earlier, let me just move these out of the way because we are going to be using these a lot. But I'm not going to waffle for too long because I really do want to crack on. And I'm going to try and do all 6. Alright. So Sam, we launched these this morning. The beautiful Christmas gonks, okay. Sam decorated these in a live at 3 o'clock. So you can go back and catch up on that if you want to. And she showed you so many different ways of using them. Annie showed us some heat embossing onto our MDF as well. In the Be Crafty Stamps group at 1 o'clock. So we've heat embossed it. Sam used eco lines. She used Sharpies. She's used Posca pens, gesso. Do you know what I mean? There's just, it's a fantastic medium to work on. All of our MDF is FSC approved. And it's all laser cut, okay? So it comes from completely sustainable sources, and it is actually laser cut right here in the UK. Not only right here in the UK, right here in the village that we live in and our shop is in. So, you know, you can't really get more local than that, can you? You just can't. So, what we're going to do is we are going to move on. Like I say, you can catch up on these beautiful gonks. All of the MDF is 30% off for today. Okay, and that includes the pop-outs too. But what I'm going to be working on is our other Sally the Ninja. Shouldn't you be out like ninja-ing folk? I'm going to go with just ninja-ing folk. So the other new thing is these fantastic baubles with their frames. Okay, now what that means is if you haven't seen us at all today, let me just lay these out for you because they are so good. Alright, we have 6 different topped baubles. Okay, you can see they've all got their own shape and style of hanger. Okay, but what they also have is a frame that matches. Okay. And this is a completely separate thing, so you can choose whether to add it. How have I lost a frame? Between there and here. Oh, I haven't. It's up here. I was practicing with something earlier. Okay. So then you've got your frames. But you do also get... Of course you're on the Holly Bobs, aren't you? You do also get the inserts with these as well. So if you wanted to stretch a fabric design over there, something like that, you do have that too. Alternatively, you can just use them for another project. Okay, so all in all, you'll be getting 18 pieces of MDF that's been laser cut because you get the insides, the frames, and those solid pieces. Now, obviously, these have been designed to work as a solid bit that's decorated and then your frame goes over the top. But of course, you don't have to do that. If you wanted to, you could turn this into a 12-piece sort of hanging garland. Okay? Now, tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're not going to be making these especially Christmassy. Okay? This is why they're just baubles times 6. because we're going to make these sort of bright and funky and doodle arty, with some ticker tape words on, and just basically have a bit of fun with them. Okay, we're going to stamp on them and all sorts. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some paint on. So I'm going to get one of my non-stick craft sheets that is stuck on one of my boards, and we're going to put these on here, and we're going to use some of the Dylusions shimmer paint. Okay, and first things first, we're going to do these. Okay, the frames I'm going to try and keep as one solid colour, but these we're going to be a little bit more block colouring. Okay? Okay. Marvellous. So I'm going to grab one of my brushes. I don't want too big of one because, like I said, I want to do some block colouring. And we're going to go straight on. I've got my cup of water. We're just going to pick some colours out. Okay? So I'm going to be using a mix of my Dylusions shimmer paint and my regular Dylusions paint. Okay? Little bit of both. So we're going to need a yellow. We're going to need a green. Because I really do want to go quite. So I'm going to use the lime and the shimmer, because that's what I have. And then I tell you what, let's go to the crushed grape. A little bit darker than I wanted to go, but in fairness, there is some sort of purpley colours in the doodle art I've coloured in. And then we're going to throw in some of this sort of really neon mango punch. And we'll go back to a little bit of bubblegum pink. Okay, so we're really going to sort of mix these colours in. So I'm going to go in, I think, first of all, with my yellow. I'm just going to add a bit of that on. And we're going to do that on a couple. So this is going to be quite quick. Okay, we're going to really get that colour on. And you can see, even going straight onto the MDF, how well that bright yellow stands out. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, while we're here, I might do 2 layers, to be honest, on the frame. But each of the frames, I'm just going to try and do, like I say, one colour. Go around the inside. There you go. I'll come back and do that another layer in a minute. A little bit more to there. And in fairness, that is almost pretty much dry already. Okay, so then I'm going to just wash out my paintbrush. And then we're going to go in with some of the fresh lime shimmer. Beautiful. Drop it here. And like I say, you can, somebody was asking this morning about gesso in the MDF. If you want to, you absolutely can. I don't, I'm not a patient woman. Okay? I like the colours on there, ready to go. But that's not to say you shouldn't or you can't. Okay? I only tend to do that if I'm going in with a really sort of dry brush for that sort of technique with a pale colour, or if I'm using pastel-y colours, especially pastel-y colours on the lighter end of the spectrum, for example yellows, like a pastel-y yellow. I would possibly gesso before that, just so it's easier to see. But even then, I can't lie, I'd probably try and put it on first and see how well it came out and see if I was happy with it. And then if it wasn't, I'd gesso afterwards. You know, I would try and get away with it first. I can't lie. I absolutely would. Because that's just how I roll. I can't lie. Right. So on to the next colour. I'm just washing out my paintbrush in my water and then drying quickly with my painty towel. Alright. And then I think we're going to go for something a bit different. And you can see that yellow is now, not the green, but the yellow, sorry, is completely dry. Okay, so now we're going to go in with something a bit punchier. Literally, because it's the mango punch. So this is going to make what is going to be a really cool garland or hanging decorations, depending on what you're going for. I think the cool thing is now, you know, we do wreaths and decorate for lots of different things. I'm one of those people that tries to decorate for seasons. And when I say decorate for seasons, I don't mean the whole house. I don't really have the capabilities for that. But I do have, like, little pumpkins and autumn leaves and things like that out at the minute. Alright. And then we'll go in with our pink. And yeah, we're just going to put a bit of pink there. This is one of these things. Don't fret about it too much because this is just the background, okay? We're not going to over stress about this at all. This is just to add some different colours that give us our theme, that we know what we're doing. You're with me, try it out first, see if it works. Exactly. It just, you know, like you say, it saves time, because if it works, brilliant. If it doesn't, you haven't really lost much. Okay. And I'm going to go in, just work that into my brush with the crushed grape, okay? And remember, all orders today over £40 will get the crushed grape shimmer paint absolutely free. And the London Blue. Because I think the thing with the crushed grape, everybody is also going to get an MDF tag to play with, so you can have a go before risking any of your new goodies. But if you see, the crushed grape shimmer paint just goes on. And that's it. I've realised I haven't coloured in any more of my frames though. That was a bit silly. So I'll tell you what. And that's basically the backs covered. Alright. So, while that's drying, I'm going to go and do some of my frames. Like I say, this crushed grape shimmer, it just goes on so easily. And that's what I want. If you are trying MDF for the first time, I want you to be able to get your goodies home and be like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. That's, you know, that's the point. Okay. That was that one. Then what colours didn't we do? We didn't do a mango punch one, did we? I might just get a little smaller brush out. Just scoop up my mango punch. Here we go. Then obviously these are going to sit over the top. Tell you what I did mean to look out. My hot glue gun. Stick all these together just so they were done quickly. So we might have to just, some of them, it might be a case of, you know, when I'm doing my cards, I'm trying to show you quickly and I just sit them all together. Might be a little bit of that going on later, but we'll see. I haven't done a bubblegum pink one. And in fairness, we might have two bubblegum pink ones. Because I've got quite a lot of bubblegum pink paint left in my palette. There we go. Yeah, so I'm going to do 2 bubblegum pink ones. Use up that paint in my palette. Don't want to waste that. This one might actually have to be a bit of a half and half, because I did use up all my pink. It's going to be a bit of a half shimmer crushed grape and a half bubblegum pink. An idea which I absolutely adore. Okay, and that's our frame. I might just do a little bit of dry brushing of that over there. Stunning. Okay, put that in there. Now these are on the whole now mostly dry, but I am just going to give them a quick waft with my heat tool just to make sure. There's a decidedly abstract feel to them so far. Okay. Not wrong with that, not wrong with that. Okay. This is the other reason I like to paint onto my brown non-stick craft sheet, okay? Because that way I can heat without worrying about bending anything, and I don't have to move them. Okay, now we are going to go to our 6x6 inkables, okay? So your 6x6 inkables are also on offer today. We're going to look for some basic sort of shapes. Now I'm thinking, ooh, I'm thinking. I'm not just thinking now, I'm looking through the box. Maybe some honeycomb. I think maybe some honeycomb. H. Okay, I'm going to go for the honeycomb multi, okay, because we have got lots of different sizes on here. Which means if I put that on and do some inking and whatever, it's going to create lots of different effects without having to worry too much. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab a slightly cheaper, more knackered brush, for want of a better description. Right, and I'm going to go into some of my paints and we're going to just stipple this one here. And then I'm going to go into, oh hello, my yellow. Stipple this one here, maybe a little up here. Then when we lift it off, we've got a bit of honeycomb going on. Okay, so I'm going to do the same. Put some yellow over this one. We're not worrying about it too much, okay? Again, we're just background building. It's nothing to get stressed about. Just adding those little bits of... I think this one brush, I think I need a more closer knit brush. The bristles on this one are a bit too far apart. I'm losing some of my, maybe a little sponge, maybe a domey blending tool. Let's have a go with a domey blending tool, because that just isn't doing what I want right now. Oh no, that's not bad. Lovely. Okay. Marvellous. That did more of what I wanted. Okay. And then we're going to, again, we're going to heat set. Now, if you've been on a Be Crafty live before with me. What is one of the main reasons I like Dylusions paints so much, and we stock those and not the distress paints. Come on, too sweet. So you didn't know there was going to be tests, did you? Okay. One of the reasons, I love how easy they go onto MDF. You can apply them with a sponge, with a brush, with a baby wipe. I don't use baby wipes anymore because of the whole environmentally conscious thing, but I can't lie, they go on brilliant with them. You know, they're just easy to apply, they're quick drying, they're very vibrant, they're cost effective, like Ali Karubia said. But no, that's not the main reason. The main reason is they do not resist inks, okay? So if you want to go in, I'm just going to get some of my Doodle art stamps out now, because we're stamping now, we're stamping, okay? So if you want to go in with your stamps, I'm going to get some of these borders off my ladybirds, okay? With your stamps, and then stamp on top. You don't need to worry about your ink beading because it's not going to resist the ink you're stamping with. Okay, and that's whether you use distress ink or your alcohol inks or things like that, things like your archival. You can just, no one said you had to revise. Well, but yes, but it's the versatility. Let's face it, I make no secret of the fact that what we like, what we love, what we adore, the choices we make when it comes to products we stock is how much it can do, okay? It has to be able to do all the things we want it to do. Otherwise, it is of no use whatsoever. You know, it's no good saying, oh, well, you can use it with that, but you can't use it with that. Well, that's great. What if I want to use it with that? Do you know what I mean? It needs to work with everything. And I think as a paint, that makes these so much better and good for journaling. So this is why, even in the newest colours, we don't do the distress paint. I should probably give them another try at some point. It's been a long time since I tried them. But, you know, what can I say? I'm very much, you know, you have your chance to impress me if you didn't. See, I've inked that up again and I don't need it. That's alright. So you can see, so we've stamped that with our Versafine, which is a pigment ink. Okay? So that is the border from the Doodle Art Ladybird. Sam has put a link on for you there. Okay? Now we're going to go to... Where am I looking? Where am I looking? No, I think it is... The sunflower, but the stamp I want is missing. Goodness gracious me. That's alright. We're going to go to the toadstools. Oh, in fact, there's one on my ladybird anyway. I'm going to get this little swirly. Okay? But in this one, we're going to stamp in pink. Okay? In the pink. I'm going to go for a pink as well in the regular distress water-based dye ink. I'm going to go for the thick raspberry. Okay. I'm going to ink up. So you can see little pink swirlies, and they're not being resisted by the paint. It is on, okay. These are so much fun. But I honestly, I'm like, should have plugged in my hot glue gun. It's alright. And I think as well, the mix of using Dylusions Paint and Dylusions Shimmer Paint really helps add to that dimension too. Like that one, you can just see the sheen on it. You don't always see the green. No green, just the sheen. Okay. to take them off there. Because now we're going to start the assembly, for want of a better description. Okay, so I'm going to put these here, and then, like I said, I haven't really planned what's going where, so it's just going to be a case of seeing what these look like once they're on the baubles that they match with. Okay, so you have to admit they look pretty cool and really quick and easy to put together. Alright, but what we're going to do is we're going to go in with some of our doodle art images. Now I do actually want to add some sisal to these, but because I haven't got my hot glue gun out, I'm not going to be able to. So what we're going to do is we're just going to assemble these in a way, but I'm going to glue them together after. I'm really worried how bright the colours aren't coming out. I'm going to have to lift you down. I'm just going to have to. Bear with. Okay. So I mean they are really bright and funky. Yeah? Cool. Excellent. Right, now, because from what we're going to do from here is we're going to add in our doodle art images. Now, some of these images are ones I've coloured since. Some of these images are ones you might have seen me colouring on Welcome Back Doodle Art Day. Okay? So, these were specifically sized so your doodle art, and this is one of these things that actually was on purpose, so your doodle art will just hang over the edge. So we've got a bee, we've got a dragonfly, we've got a butterfly, we have a ladybird, we have some mushrooms, which I haven't cut the middle out of that one, so that has to happen. And we've got, where's my other flower? I had two flowers, here we go. And then I've got two flowers, because I couldn't decide which one. Okay, and then from there, I have cut out on my sanding block, so because I thought they'd stick on there without moving away too much. I have got 4 little words from the ticker tape 4. Okay, these are the regular size stamps, yep. Okay, these are from the ticker tape 4. Now the only one that doesn't come in its own box in these sentiments, as in the drawn box, is the perfect. Okay, so basically what I've done is I've cut that short and then just drawn the extra line on. Okay, but what I might do as well, just to hide it, is sort of put it in the middle of there, or tuck it under a wing or something. Okay, so these ticker tape 4s are going to go, yeah, here we go. This one is going to go with the ladybird here. It's perfect. And then we're going to add on a little ticker tape box for each one. All of these words are part of other phrases, but are there individually for you to cut out, all except the perfect, which I sort of adapted. I think sometimes it's easier to look at a bauble and see something festive, but sometimes it's harder to see anything else. Nay. I'm looking at those. Okay. And yes, all the images I did colour in before. But in terms of the MDF work, you can see how easy it is. Okay? The MDF work is actually really easy. It's no difficult or no more difficult than putting down a background in your journal or putting down a background for a card. In lots of ways it's easier. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is using maybe other everyday stamps you have. Obviously you could take a bit more time, you could add some more accents, which I will when these are complete. And I'm going to add a bit of sizzle and stuff. But I really do want to use my hot glue gun to assemble them in that way. But you can just see. So, but again, like Michelle was just saying, we do still have, and these are actually in the underline section, so you can get these at a really good price. We do have doodle art poinsettias. We have doodle art robins that you could put in these, as well as the tops of the nutcrackers. Photos to be the tags to go on Christmas gifts, or any gifts actually, they don't have to be Christmas gifts, you know, so you can really adapt this MDF, like all the MDF, to be for whatever medium you like to use, whether it's eco lines, whether it's Dylusions Paint, whether it's your gloss sprays. Dina Wakley gloss sprays are absolutely fantastic on the MDF, okay? And they sort of give them this beautiful sheen. Now, if you go, I will say with the Dina Wakley gloss sprays, if you go directly on, you probably might get a more matte effect. If you gesso it, you will then get the really good gloss, but it's a way of getting two things out of it. Your Dylusions ink sprays, again, with those is just an ink spray. You know, the lighter colours are with gesso first, but you can use those. Whatever your mediums, you know, you can really mix and match and use them on there. Okay? And as we've seen today, it's not just the doodle art. You know, we've seen some beautiful samples. Let me just get one of those back out using the journaling. Oh, I have put them all neatly in the box. I don't want to disturb that. I have put something away. Don't want to wreck it. The birds and butterflies, for example, absolutely beautiful. Annie was using some of the more pen and ink style stamps. They work really well. So basically, your MDF is finding you a new substrate to work on. Something a bit fun. And a lot of the time, something just for you. Okay? Now, this is back to one of those things. If there's anything you've seen today and say, I like that bit of MDF, I wonder if they do such and such. Or I like the pop-outs, if they thought of doing this. Do let us know. We are here to make these products for you, and it's really, really important. So, may I ask how big the MDF printer tray is, please? If it is just the square one, my love, this is a roundabout guesstimate, okay? I don't have one with me right now. I want to say it's about 8 inches square. Is an ish. About 8 inches square. Then your printer trays to add things in, absolutely beautiful. So I hope you've really enjoyed MDF Day. All of those offers will be running for the rest of the day. Okay? So make sure you go online and have a look. Make sure you have a look at things like the 6x6 inkables as well in your range of mediums, because they have got a little bit of a discount on those, and your metal steampunk and junk. You saw Sam using a lot of those earlier and showing you those. The spanners and wrenches are absolutely my favourites, and the sonic screwdrivers. So make sure you do go and check those out. So I really hope this has been helpful. I really hope you've seen a bit more of what you can do with your MDF. I honestly feel like even as hard as we've tried, we've barely scratched the surface. But I am really happy with what everyone's created today. And make sure you download those PDFs as well, because they are so easy to follow. Alright then, guys. Thank you so much. Check out the website and we'll see you soon. Bye.